going to change it up a little bit this week, and I'm going to make a little homemade spaghetti. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up the stuff that I actually add to my spaghetti. We're going to start with the nice big old plump green onion. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. So we've got our green onion cut up here. What I like to do is I like to make these pretty small. That way it gives you a little color in your spaghetti, but also it helps them break down while you're cooking. That's about the size that I like to make for those. So next we're going to cut up our shallot that we have here. And like I said before, these have a pretty powerful punch, so you're not going to have to use a whole lot of these. So the smaller you cut them, the easier they'll cook down. Are you paying attention? Just give this a nice cross cut all the way across. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut up some of our garlic. I don't like a whole lot in there. I like maybe about half of a clove. We're going to add it with our onions, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take it to the skillet, cook it down a little bit in some olive oil. Well, what that's going to do is it's going to flavor that olive oil, so when we do decide to put our meatballs, yep, we're having meatballs, and we're using pork. But we're going to add a little flavor to that, and we're going to toast these, so it's a win-win for everybody. So give these a cross-section cut, and then nice and thin. See how small that is? You can see that? So what we'll do is we'll cook that down here in a minute. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our mushrooms to this. Not a huge fan, but I like to trim the edges off of that, because if you know anything about how mushrooms grow, you don't want to eat that. Also, rinse them. So we're going to make these nice thin so they cook down as well. So that's about 1/4 of an inch. You can do a little thinner if you want, but that'll cook down nicely. Give you a little bit of flavor. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to cook my mushrooms down a little bit in my nice new stainless steel pan that I got today. But after that, what we're going to do is we're going to cook our onions and our garlic down. Add it to this so it all cooks down evenly. Okay, so we've got our mushrooms cooked down. We don't want to cook them all the way down to where they're translucent, but we do want to get a good cook on them so it helps release some of those flavors. But now what we're going to do is get our onions and garlic in here, and that, as you know, cooks down really fast, both the onions and the garlic. So you got to keep an eye on this and kind of stir it constantly. As you can see, we've got our water going over here. Okay, so now we've got our mushrooms and our onions and garlic cooked down to the way I want it. You can either do it longer or shorter, however you want it. But next what we're going to do is we're going to add it all into our sauce and get that going. Alright, so I have my sauce here. I've got everything put in here. We're going to go ahead and bring that to a simmer back here, but make sure you use a lid because once that the tomato sauce gets going, it likes to pop a lot, so be careful. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to make our meatballs. I'm using ground pork, and this is a pound. You can use more or less, however you want. Okay, so we've got our ground pork here, or sausage, however you want to call it. I've added my green peppers. What I like to do is when I'm adding my breadcrumbs, which I use the Italian style, the seasonings, start out with about a half a cup. And if that isn't enough, you can always add more. We're gonna go ahead and add our egg, which brings it all together and holds it all together when you're cooking. So now we've got everything mixed up in here, and we're gonna go ahead and start making our meatballs. You can make them big, small, however you want. I like to go about the size of a golf ball. That way they're easier to cook, easier to handle. I mean, you could cook this whole thing, make just one giant meatball, but I wouldn't advise that. Roll it around, get it nice and formed. And there's our little meatball right there. Alright, I've got my meatballs here. We'll go ahead and start placing these in, but be very careful, because they will splatter. You can hear them start to pop already. So now what I've done is I've mixed everything in here after the spaghetti's cooking. I got my meatballs right here that I'll put on top. I actually cut one open as a test just to make sure, but look how dense those things are. They are going to be good. Next I'll plate it up and show you what it looks like.